Okay. Hello, my name is Edward Stomner, and my birthday is in July 26, 1924. My parents' name was Anita and Edward Stomner. I was a junior. I was raised in Butler, Wisconsin, a big railroad town. When I say big, that was a 500 population.
Whoa.
I had one sister, and I married Juanita Schaefer, and we had two children, Kristen, Carol, and Carl Edward. And Kristen had two children, Emily and Teresa.
How old were you when Germany invaded Poland in 1939, and what were your thoughts?
Well, I was 15, and like any teenager, I don't think this meant a hell of a lot to me.
So how did you find yourself becoming a merchant marine instead of a 15-year-old who didn't really have much interest in World War II?
The newspapers, and they were as everything was playing out, and now I was in high school, and then some of my friends, older friends, were starting to be drafted, and it kind of woke my generation up a little, and it just kept getting, as the war kept getting worse, I'm trying to think of the word.
Escalated?
Did they have a draft? Did they actually have a draft for World War II, or did everybody enlist?
No, there was a draft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but anyhow, being patriotic was and being more and more impressed on us, and then one night, there was a couple of our buddies. We were out to a dance somewhere and had a few drinks, and somebody got the bright idea, hey, let's go down tomorrow and join the Navy. Okay, we'll drink on that. So next morning, there was three of us guys went down to the Navy, and we checked in, and they run us through a physical. Well, it turns out that they turned me down because I had flat feet. See, now this was early on when they could be fussy. Later on, why they took you if you were breathing. But the other two guys ended up in the Navy. Well, I was bound determined that I was not going to become a soldier. I didn't want to be sleeping in a pup tent. So somehow my one cousin, we were together somehow, and he was talking, he was going to join the Merchant Marine. And I said, what the heck is that, And he told me, I said, hey, that sounds interesting. And then he said something, they're looking for radio operators. And so, well, I was very interested in radio. I knew the code at that time.
That's Morse code?
Yep, because I was practicing. I wanted to get a amateur's license, and you had to know the code and be able to send and receive it. So I knew it, and but I didn't have any experience in sending or receiving. So, but I knew the code. So I went down to this enlistment office for the Merchant Marine, and I said that I was interested because I was interested in radio and I'd like to become a radio operator. Oh, fine. he will send you up right up to the radio school, and they explained what it was. It was I think it was a 6-month course that you had to go through, and then you got your federal license, and you could be a radio operator on a ship. So I thought, oh, but I mean, there was no question to them then, that I'd go right. But the only trouble was they said, you got to go through boot camp first, and then you'll go to the radio school. Oh, okay.
Can you just talk a little bit about the role of the merchant marines in World War II?
Okay, that's a kind of a sore subject, but very important. If it hadn't have been for the merchant marine, we would not have won the war. Now, President Roosevelt made that statement because he wanted Congress to make us members of the armed forces, which they wouldn't do. But anyhow, that he felt that we deserved that because he said we would not have won the war without the merchant ships. We took all the Army's ammunition, guns, railroad engines, trucks, you name it, we took them over. They only went on merchant ships. There was no other way to get them. Although, like I say, I spent quite a bit of time in the Pacific, and we hauled stuff over there. We hauled troops over even. I mean, I mean, naturally, because I was in it, it was to me a very important service. And but we never got credit for it until I think they made us veterans in I can't remember what the date was, but it's only within the last, I would say, 20 years.
Were the merchant marines honored as veterans?
As veterans. Oh, when I die, I'll get a flag.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so you got that. It only took, it only took 50 years or so, I suppose.
To recognize us, right. Sorry. So that's what I mean. It's a sore spot with me, see?